I'll also say out loud that a thing that I think is like kind of a hot take, but like not really. I just think it's a truth we should accept. Like external validation is encouraging. Like, and so I also understand the people who are like, it sucks when I share and it feels like I'm just throwing shit into a black hole and I never hear anything and there's no engagement. I get it. I truly do. While I don't think that a complete dearth and lack of engagement is an affirmation of your belief, or rather confirms your suspicion that no one cares about you, it also shouldn't be the thing that completely stymies your efforts. Conversely, we don't do this for the external validation, but the external validation definitely does help. You know, it's nice to get the comments. It's nice to have people tell you they're so grateful they found you, or the way that you expressed something was said in a way that they really needed to hear. So the regularity, I think, came from just a desire to, and a curiosity for the experimentation, specifically on TikTok. Instagram never made sense to me. Only now am I like, oh, I think I get it, which is really that there is no difference between TikTok and Instagram as a platform just had to catch up a bit. But I was at that time posting like 2 to 4 times a day, which I would not do now. I could. Like, honestly, I do find content easy enough to create. I just don't think I would ever, that I could be proud of every single thing that I put out at that rate.
So your standard is your standard pretty high for what you would post?
Incredibly, but not in the sense that most people would say like lighting is perfect and I look perfect and my sound is perfect and editing perfect. Actually, like I don't give a fuck about most of that stuff. It's an interesting conversation we're having right now, because 2 days ago I was driving back from Colorado to Utah with one of my best friends, and we were in the car and I took some aesthetic footage of like the mountains, and I'm in the car and there's some windmills and whatever. And I posted that video as like a 7-second thing on Instagram. And I was just like, what text? I was like, oh, well, there's like something aspirational in this. I'd been talking about life rebranding on Instagram. I'm always testing new messaging and positioning just to like, I think IP creation is like the actual way to scale a human, is to pump out so much intellectual property that is so delicious that people want more of, and then figuring out how to visualize that and sort of make it manifest in many different ways. Anyway, I came up with this text on screen. I like posted it and I was like, that's fucking stupid. That was dumb. Like, I stand behind what I said, but it was just bland. And so then the next day I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, I should write a carousel about how frustrated I am and how like honestly sick to my stomach it made me that I was willing to put something out that sounds like anybody could have written it. And that carousel, which the front cover is, because I just posted it, when you say shit like this on the internet, your soul dies. And that carousel, just in an interesting way, like has 460 saves, over 1,000 likes, 65 shares, and is done really well on Instagram. And it's just a reflection and dissection of how dissatisfied I was with the piece the day before. And so not only is my bar very high, I'm very open to seeing everything I share from so many different angles. And so I always encourage people to do that too. It's like, we have to take really big swings, because the swings that we miss are still information. And I just think what was shitty about the one that I posted that I thought was really bland was it was a bunt. I bunted, and like fucking that isn't exciting.
What made it a bunt? Was it there wasn't enough creativity? Like, were you not applying a certain thing to it, or?
Yeah, it didn't. It really sounds like anybody could have written it. It was like 2025 is your year for your life rebrand. So, as a main character, you should take yourself on adventures, blah, 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 and spend time around people who like make life feel cinematic. And I was like, I like this. I was like, this is good language. It feels like me. It's flowery. But then I realized it was saccharine and it didn't mean anything. And it didn't actually speak to any of my specific experiences. And then in the carousel, I'd say something to the effect of like, is this better? I don't know. But it could have been like, 7 hours spent driving across the country in the car feels like nothing when you have a best friend to talk to, the mountains to look at, and memories from a weekend of getting yourself outside of your comfort zone, right? Like, while that is not as flowery, That was my experience.